Hi, in this video, we will do an example sum on journal entries for treatment of goodwill, but where goodwill already appears in the books of accounts. There is an existing goodwill. So let's go to that example. Example, X, Y and Z are partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 5:3:2 respectively. They decided to share profits and losses equally with effect from 1st April 2019. On that date, goodwill appeared in the books at rupees 12,000, but it was revalued at rupees 30,000. We are asked to pass journal entries if goodwill is not to appear in the books of accounts. Now, as per this problem, existing goodwill, which already appears in the books, is rupees 12,000. Goodwill already appeared in the books, so we know that this is 12,000. And fresh valuation of goodwill is equal to rupees 30,000. This amount, but goodwill was revalued at. So let's go ahead with the journal entries for writing of existing goodwill. Journal entries in the books of the firm. Date, particulars, LF number, debit rupees and credit rupees. The date is 1st April 2019. The existing goodwill 12,000 needs to be written off among existing partners in old profit sharing ratio, which is 5:3:2. So let's do that first. We are assuming the fluctuating capital method. X capital account debit, Y capital account debit, Z capital account debit, to goodwill account. The amount of existing goodwill is 12,000, and this has to be written off in 5:3:2. So for X, it's 12,000 into 5/10, rupees 6,000. For Y, it's 12,000 into 3/10, 3,600. And for Z, it's 12,000 into 2/10, which is 2,400. So being existing goodwill, written off. Now for the fresh valuation of goodwill of rupees 30,000, the journal entry is gaining partners capital account to sacrificing partners capital account. We need to find out which partner gains and which partner sacrifices. So old profit sharing ratio between X, Y and Z is 5:3:2, and the new profit sharing ratio between the three of them is 1:1:1. So let's do old share minus the new share. So for X, old share 5 by 10 minus new share 1 by 3, LCM 30, positive 5 divided by 30, X has sacrificed for Y, old share 3 by 10 minus new share 1 by 3, negative 1 by 30, Y has gained, and for Z 2 by 10 minus 1 by 3, a negative 4 divided by 30, and Z has also gained. So let's write the journal entry down. Same date, 1st April 2019. We need to debit the gaining partners. Y capital account debit. Z capital account debit. To X capital account. For the amounts, we need to take the goodwill of the firm. It's revalued as 30,000 into the gain of Y is 1 by 30. So it's 1000 rupees. For Z, it's 30,000 into his gain, which is 4 by 30, which is 4,000 rupees. And for X, 30,000 into 5 by 30, which amounts to 5,000. And the narration being goodwill adjusted through capital accounts on change in profit sharing ratio. So this is a way the sum needs to be done when there is existing goodwill in the books, which we will know by the phrase that goodwill appeared in the books at rupees 12,000. Now, in this example, we learned how to pass the journal entries if goodwill is not to appear in the books of accounts. Now here if we see in the end, the last line, pass journal entries if goodwill is not to appear in the books of accounts. Now in this case, we will pass this journal entry. The existing goodwill will be written off and the journal entry will be passed for the revalued amount of goodwill. In the upcoming video, we will learn how to pass journal entries if the partner decides to carry over the existing goodwill. So that we will see in the upcoming video.